the Son knew. The very day, the very protocols that has been set for Samson was broken was the day he became a prey to his enemies. The enemy will never use anything foreign. That is what the Bible talks about. When we are tempted, we are not tempted by things outside of ourselves, but rather things within us. The enemy will always use things within you to try to derail you and put you in a place you not ought to be. Samson, the moment prophetic order, prophetic protocols were disobeyed, Samson find himself chained. This is a man who can kill thousands of people with a jawbone of an axe. This is a man that can do all kinds of things when the Spirit of God comes upon him. Simply by obedience, by following spiritual protocols, a set of instructions that is given to him by God. And because of that, listen, some of you, the Lord will tell you, I want you to fast every night. I want you to pray every day. Some of you, the Lord will lead you into a different direction. Some of you, the Lord will lead you different direction. How the Lord will deal with you and deal with you and deal with you will always be different. I am not going to say God is not a God that he deals with every child differently because he knows that child and the language he speaks. Listen to him. God can come down to you and speak to you in English. God will speak to you in Patois. God will do what God wants that he knows and believes can touch your heart and can reach to you. What is important, I want to understand that every child of God, apart from general protocol that we all follow as the Bible leads us, each and every one of you, because of your prophetic destinies, has a specific instructions that you have to seek out the Lord for. Whatever the Lord has called you to do, what does it require? Listen to me. Jesus was called to die for all of us, right? The weight of the burden was so heavy. He knew the price he had to pay. And in the midst of agony, when he said, Father, if it is possible, take this cup away from me. However, he said, nevertheless. So number one, begin to ascend into the throne room of God and begin to inquire of God. What are the protocols, spiritual or prophetic protocols that pertains to me? To your calling, to your health, to your marriage. What is let me tell you, some people will have to. I met a gentleman many years ago, and he said to me, as for you, you just have to pray or something. You just have to pray, and then, stuff happen. And I said, you know what the problem is? You have to find what the Lord has given you. And it will surprise you. If mine is prayer and yours is singing, it will surprise you if you sing, you generate the same results. It's a matter of the tools that the Lord has given to you. It's a matter of what are the sets of prophetic protocols that the Lord is giving you and placed upon you. Because let me tell you something. A prophecy without direction is almost useless. Because if you knew what the prophecy is, you wouldn't be where you are. You are ignorant about the prophecy. When it comes, it has to come with instructions. So just because you know what you got to do does not mean you've been told you know ABC, does not mean you don't need to know E, D, B, C, F, and the rest of them. The Lord, when Jesus appeared to me as a Muslim, a young man, he said, go and preach what I've taught you. Give me specific instructions on what to do. And he found me in a place of prayer. Is somebody here with me? So you have to understand what are the spiritual, prophetic protocols with respect to your destiny. Let me give a piece of advice. I don't want you to go to any prophet to tell you what God is telling you about your purpose. I need you to listen to me. If that's the route you choose, that's fine. That's your problem. But I'm telling you that I need you to go to God and ask God to speak to you. God is more invested in talking to you than you like to think. Perhaps maybe it's our inability to hear the voice of God, which we will deal with it another time. But invest some time. Hello? Invest some time in knowing, Lord, what are the prophetic protocols that you need me to follow? He knew not to drink wine. He knew never to cut his hair. The moment his hair was cut, that was the end of his end. Hello? You have to know what you need to what? Seriously. With respect to fulfilling your kingdom purpose or your prophetic purpose. And we deal with prophetic alignment. In order to come to alignment, because it's not just one shoe fits all. In order to come to that place of alignment, you just not only have to be calibrated, you need to understand the protocols to follow. Because as we spoke last time, even in the process of the protocols, sometimes the machines wear out and they require replacement. Now, if you don't know the specification for the purposes of replacement, how could you be calibrated? And the right calibration requires that you know the set of instructions, the set of protocols to be able to align what needs to be aligned so that you can always be calibrated and yet fall within protocols. It is the inability for people to fall within protocol in the church and outside of the church is what is leading to the demise. The church is gifted, but there's no power. If a witch, a wizard, any kind of foul spirit can come and sit down and feel comfortable, we have failed. If our God is a consuming fire, where is that fire in our midst? Why are there still blind people? I tell you, I don't believe in laying hands on anybody. Yes, I do that. But the point is that this is our God. So when we come and meet here and we bring him down, he has to do what he does best. Do you understand me, somebody? We have gathered here because of him. So Jesus, come and do what Jesus does best. Do you understand? So we have to understand the need to be able to follow protocol. Hello? And the following of protocol also consists, another aspect of following protocol that I want to bring into your attention is the concept of authority with respect to protocol. And I think that's where the church, we have failed at times sometimes. The inability to recognize authority. Listen to me. The centurion said, I'm a man of authority and authority. He understood how power works and the concept of power works. If we fail to understand how power works and how power is transferred by reason of not understanding protocols, we will fail to walk in power. Because the power we have today is the power that is bestowed upon us by the reason of the work of Christ. Power is transferred. When Elisha asked Elijah, can I get a double portion of your anointing? He said, yeah, you've asked a difficult thing, but when I am going, power is transferred. The reason why many great men and women of God are dying and the power is not being manifested like you ought to be. I can give an example. I was not alive. I was probably a child in those times. I don't know. There was a man in back in those days in Africa by the name Benson Idahosa. For according to all stories, this man was able to suspend the international witchcraft activities in the whole world, and witchcraft could not meet to have a meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, my question for you is that where is that power? Is God so stingy that when he releases a power, he has to come and take away his thing? If the glory of the latter church shall be greater than the former, in other words, when there's a release, we should have greater men and women than him. Today there are false prophets everywhere because there are no men and women of understand the concept, the power of authority, because they failed to understand prophetic protocols. We can't give instructions anymore. We can't tell nobody anymore. You tell them the thing. Oh, one man of God was telling me that they were going to a church.